Hey, what's up, YouTube? Tuesday morning, time for a rant, I think. Should we see what Jeremy Vine's saying today? Let's have a look. So here we are. Wonder what. Guess what it is? Guess what its first topic is? Let's have a listen.
Okay. Should we make it illegal for politicians to have flags in the background? Because the British flag is not political.
Okay, but it's just a background to our reality as patriots. The British. For me, the British flag is so mundane that I don't even notice it in the background. It's like the equivalent of an epidemiologist giving an interview via Zoom and having loads of books in the background.
That's her personal view, I guess, but don't know. To patriotic British people, I guess the flag means a bit more than books on a shelf there. Okay.
To me, it's just perfectly natural. So, I don't understand why.
To be fair, she did say it's natural, so she's not against the flag. She's not trying to say let's burn the flag. But I'll just warn you, we have got Owen Soyboy Jones on, so get ready. It's going to be.
It's unacceptable for a democratically elected member of Britain to have a British flag in the background.
Well, that flag seizing thing, maybe Owen cheapens the flag.
Here we go. Here comes Owen.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, look, if politicians want to have flags behind them, several flags, if they want to wear a flag hat, if they want to wear flag ear warmers or a Union Jack bow tie, maybe they should throw on some eyeshadow.
This is the face of Owen Jones. Just take a look at it. Probably can't really say anything more because YouTube. I think you know. Yeah, there you go.
In the style of Union Jack, they can do what they want. What annoys me is
I don't know why he went for eyeshadow. That's a strange one. He's clearly got a flag issue though. But I mean, that's the most intelligent. That's the most intelligent picture I've ever seen of Owen Jones. I love Britain. I love Britain.
I think a lot of them are doing it to stoke this kind of weird culture war where we're supposed to have this weird nonsense argument over the flag, and that is.
You're the only one starting culture wars. You nut jobs on the left. Most people that aren't radical left don't give a shit. They like seeing their flags flown in their country. You know? I want to know why YouTube won't let me put a St George's cross in the fucking chat on some things. What's going on there? I'm a member of Great Britain, yes, but I'm English.
Isn't trying to be patriotic. That's trying to use the national flag to cause a bizarre argument for play.
What is he on about? So he thinks that Boris has put flags in the background to cause an argument with someone? No. I think you're just another butthurt Ramona who can't stand to see the Great Britain flag, the Union Jack, and would rather see the freaking EU block party flag everywhere. Well, we left Owen. Get over it, you turd. Stop crying about it, for fuck's sake. Huh? Get a life.
Advantage, and I don't get it.
Okay, stories coming.
You don't know. He doesn't get it, bless him. Poor little Owen, getting upset over a flag.
The Prime Minister is right to put hugging on hold as lockdown restrictions ease.
No. There you go. Simple. Move on. Next subject.
Sharon's already been in touch on Facebook saying once both parties are vaccinated and time is given to allow it to take effect, I don't see a problem. I haven't received.
Dear. No. I hug people. No one's telling me I can't fucking hug anyone. So, sorry, Sharon.
My first one yet, so definitely no hugging. As much as I would like to hug certain people, there's certain people that Sharon would not like to hug. That's what I read into that. Andrew here says no. Until everyone has been offered the vaccine, then as much of an uptake as possible. Only
bore off, Andrew.
Whatever your thoughts on this, do get in contact now. Pick up that phone, give us a call.
Funny. Now, though, is the government right to put hugging on hold? 02078.
No.
0622222 is the number. Tell us what you think. Love to know. At a press conference
No, Jeremy, they don't.
last night, the Prime Minister warned against close contact over Easter amid
Oh,
fears
apologies.
of
I
a
think we're
third
going to see
wave
Boris
arriving
now.
from Europe. And the government minister Nigel Huddleston went a step further, telling people not to hug their loved ones. Was he right to say? Have a quick look at our jabometer if you can. We're getting close, aren't we, to 32 million, the big first step.
I'm confused because I thought they said we needed 15 million vaccinated and then we could open everything up. Just going to leave that hanging there because we're now double that.
Age of first dose
Allegedly.
vaccinations. Here we are, 30,444,829 have now had their first dose of the vaccine. So
Look, see this, how sick, look how they celebrate this. And I'm going to be honest now with things how they are after getting not a strike but a warning for uploading a video laughing at Daily Mail comments. Who knows? I may get fucking struck for this one. God knows. But there you go. Over 30 million they reckon, and I'm pretty sure down there at the bottom at 15 million, that's when we were supposed to have unlocked things. Right? I don't know.
Sherelle, should we hug?
Yes, we should hug.
Yay,
Should
Sherelle.
be banned moving forward. We've vaccinated 57% of all adults, most of the vulnerable. And at some point, this government is going to have to stop micromanaging people and level with them about the fact that we are going to have to accept a certain level of responsibility and a certain level of risk moving forward. And hugs are so natural. And I think, just talking about myself personally, I will probably hug my friends not out of defiance, but just unthinkingly, because it's a natural thing to do. As babies, it's our first human contact. We are cradled by our mothers. And I just think that we are in danger of losing our humanity just in our quest to really do the civilized thing here in terms of protecting the vulnerable and protecting people from COVID. And we are losing sight of what makes us human.
I'd say they've done a good job of doing that already. I mean, when you see people walking around with their faces covered, is that not dehumanising? Is that not the same effect? Just a thought show. Just a thought.
We had a moment on the show yesterday, Storm, didn't we?
Yes.
It was lovely. The baby was called Willow.
Yes.
And the grandparents were Anne and Mick. And they got together with their daughter and Willow. But, and there's a big but here, just have a little look at the pictures and I'll explain.
I feel overwhelmed the first time since she was born that we can actually heal each other almost. Wonderful.
Oh,
What are you on about?
I've actually seen her little feet, her little fingers, you know. It's
Do people not think this is somewhat cruel? Do people not get this? It's fucking weird.
Okay, that was amazing. And that baby is the most beautiful baby in the country, there's no question, Willow.
Hey, you can't say that, Jeremy. Sure, there's someone who's had a baby today that thinks theirs is the most beautiful, right?
However, Owen, they had to still do the distancing. So they arrive in each other's gardens there, but they still can't hug. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it?
What's Owen going to say? Will Owen take the chance here now to be a decent human being, talk about humanity and stuff, and da-da-da, or will he use it as an excuse to bash the Tories? And I have no love for the Tories, nor Labour, as I keep saying, two cheeks, same arse. But here we go. Let's see what Owen has to say about this.
Not really. No, I bloody love to hug. If Sherelle...
I bloody love to hug. Just no one wants to hug me.
later on this year wants a hug, count me in.
Look at, yeah, she's not looking keen. Let's have a look at, is that, what did you say to that? Is that a nervous smile? Yeah, thanks Owen, I think I'll pass on your hug. Your hug will come with conditions like, got back a referendum or something. Anyway.
I'm the sort of guy, I hug my friends. My mum lives by herself up in.
Fuck off,
Edinburgh.
Owen. You ain't got no friends. Come on.
But 150,000 people up to have died. Over
What?
about one
Whoa,
in
whoa,
every
hang on.
150 people.
What did he say?
What's a hug? Count me in. I'm a hugging sort of guy. I hug my friends.
Oh, yeah.
My mum lives by herself up in Edinburgh. I'd love to give my mum a hug. But 150,000.
Bloody hell, your mum loves you so much she moved to Edinburgh to get away from you, Owen. Oh, that's cruel, sorry. Sorry, Owen. I'm sure you're a lovely bloke, really.
People up to have died.
Oh, shit, I missed that
Over
fucking
one
bit.
in- About 1 in every 400.
I missed that bit
people in
again.
this
Right,
country.
let's listen again, because I missed that bit.
Farrell later on this year wants a hug. Count me in.
Yeah.
I'm a hugging sort of guy. I hug my friends. My mum lives by herself up in Edinburgh. I'd love to give my mum a hug. But 150,000 people up to have died.
150,000 up to? I'm getting confused with these death numbers, because I swear it was 120 something the other day. So we just lost another 25,000 people. Or is Owen just being a fucking idiot? I think we know which. Guardian columnist.
About 1 in every 450 people in this country died during the pandemic in the space of a year. When we talk about what makes us human, I think being alive probably is the one thing that makes us human. And the truth is, this is.
What did he say?
People up to have died. About 1 in every 450 people in this country have died.
About 1 in every 450 people have died? Oh, I'll have to get my calculator out and do some maths and work out what percentage 125,000 is of 67 million. So 1 in 4, but you reckon it's 1 in 450, okay.
During the pandemic in the space of a year. When we talk about what makes us human, I think being alive probably is the one thing that makes us human. And
not really, because animals are alive. Does that make them human as well then, Owen? What? Big brain thinking here, you know, hugging. That's what makes us alive. That's what makes us human. What are you on about?
The truth is, this is a.
I want to listen to that again.
Illness, which,
I want to listen to that again.
The one thing that makes us human, and the truth is, this is people up to have died.
Oh yeah.
About 1 in every 400.
Yeah. 1 in every 450 have died. Yeah.
During the pandemic in the space of a year. When we talk about what makes us human, I think being alive probably.
I'm going to argue that what makes us human, being bipedal. Come on, let's think of some unique things other than hugging that makes us human. Because I'm sure I see some animals hug as well. I think animals I think Owen's being a bit. What would be the word? What word can you use when you discriminate against animals? But I want Owen Jones charged with hate speech against animals here.
Is the one thing that makes us human. And
no,
the
it's
truth
not.
is, this is a.
It's not the one thing.
Illness, which in fact.
99.97% people in certain age groups recover from. 99.8 in others. 94.7 I think if you're over 70. Obviously more risky if you have comorbidities, but if you're healthy, unlike this dickhead that human. But yeah, you think you get my point.
Goodness, obviously so many people have been vaccinated. That vaccination programme delivered by the NHS is going very well. Can't we just be a bit patient? Can't we just wait? How much sweeter will those hugs be?
Told you, I apologise. He's a dickhead, isn't he?
When we know that we're all safe, that we can hug each other without spreading a virus, which has led to lots of people dying alone in hospitals, horrible deaths often.
About the people that died alone at home, because yes, all the people in hospital may not have had their family around them. They did have nurses and stuff. But what about those people that have died at home because they didn't go to hospital for some treatment they may have needed, or thing because their hospital had cancelled their appointment, or if it was something else they were wanting to go in about and they couldn't, or they didn't feel they could go to the hospital. Just think about that.
Unable to be hugged and comforted, my relatives included, and many of the relatives of the people watching this.
To be fair, your
What
relatives
is
don't
most
want you hugging
important in
them.
life is our health and our lives. And if we could just hold on.
Health is important, but I think people's health is going to suffer more when you don't have an economy and you've got millions of people in poverty, Owen.
A little bit
Okay.
more, we can have those hugs in the summer. And not doing
Oh my God, in the summer. Why do we keep hearing that? Hey? Like, oh, don't worry about Christmas, you can have it at Easter. What?
We'll all be an absolute disgrace, I'm sure.
Steady on, as they say. Sherelle, I don't think you agree with that, do you?
No, I think Owen potentially being a little bit naive, talking about just holding on just that little bit longer, in the sense that I'm not sure whether hiking will be permitted in the summer, and I think that social distancing looks to be a.
She knows something we don't then, because they said June 21st, that's it, restrictions all gone. What are they going to say? Well, yeah, social restrictions are all gone, please don't hug.
Fixture for at least the rest of the year going into 2022, and I just think there's a point at which we have to accept that COVID isn't going away. The vaccine is going to help, but it is not going to eliminate the virus, and therefore we need to decide as human beings what it is that it takes for us to be able to live with COVID, but also lead a normal life. And I think that hugging is actually quite high up on my list of things that I would like to be able to do. And you say that life is about being alive, but it's also about living a life which is worth living. And
fair points. She's making some fair points, to be fair. To be fair. Fair points, to be fair. Oh, God.
And our interactions with each other are integral to that.
Yeah, Owen.
Well, I mean, in terms of, you're right, life is about living. And what about the 1 in 10 people who catch long COVID and have severe?
Just take it. I'm just going to pause it there. Big brain thinking. Look at him.
Symptoms which go on for months. I know people with long COVID.
I
They
know.
would love to live their life to the full, but they can't because they're suffering the long-term consequences of COVID-19. Look, we just have to be real here. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Well, hopefully not the middle. Hopefully towards the final chapter. I am actually personally confident. I'm quite cocky about it. I think vaccination delivered by the NHS is doing very well. And I do think we're going to move to a position in the summer where we'll be able to...
What a strange way to put it. I'm very cocky about it, but yeah. Vaccinations, NHS, vaccinations going well. Was it what? Why? What's being cocky about that? I don't get
things
it.
that we all miss doing.
Being a cockhead,
including hugging.
maybe.
Let's just be patient. Let's hold on a little bit longer so that we can hug people safely and not spread this disease that not just kills people, but gives people long COVID.
When you said vaccination delivered by the...
So he's more worried about long COVID than people dying, he says there then. So, okay.
the NHS, did you mean to say vaccination delivered by greed and capitalism?
Definitely not, no. And I think it's really interesting Boris Johnson said that, because this vaccine, like all vaccines in Big Pharma, is delivered because of vast amounts of public money. Vast amounts of public money goes into research, and this was delivered not by test and trace, which was greed and capitalism, it was private contractors who messed up our test and trace system, but by our National Health Service, which is why we're world beating.
So I think I'm seeing my mum on Friday. Haven't been in her actual zone for about a year, right?
She hasn't missed you, she said. I'm only joking. It's Jeremy's mum, of course she loves him, but a year, Jeremy, God.
Hey, Sherelle,
Was she
you think I
vulnerable?
can hug her?
Did she have to shield for being
Has
vulnerable?
your mum been vaccinated?
Absolutely, of course. So have I.
I personally don't see a problem with it, but then again, I'm not an expert, but that's just me.
Oh no, you need
Okay.
Sarah Jarvis.
On a
Where's Sarah
completely different
Jarvis?
matter, we think we've identified Owen's hairstyle.
Oh, who cares?
Let's just look at this. You said you hadn't heard of Flock of Seagulls, Owen.
Oh, okay, let's have a laugh.
Go on, let's have
There
a
we go.
I love
The
it.
guy in the blue.
That looks... He looks way cooler than me. I have to say,
Oh,
I
yeah.
prefer that to Ron Weasley. A lot of people are now suggesting Ron Weasley. Now,
Yeah, you do. You look like you do.
Lovely guy. But I'll go with that. I'll style my hair like that next.
You do look like
I'll have a look at this.
You do look like Ron Weasley's kind of, I don't know, disabled younger brother, maybe.
Closer. I think you'll like this one. That's it. Justin
Ah.
Bieber.
That's it. Spot on.
That's
Fucking
it.
hell. This is
I'm
the
a
shit they put on telly. That.
36-year-old man, and I'm still being compared to someone there who's what, about 12?
Well,
I
Matt-
think he was
Now,
there.
you said
Man's a loose term, I'd say, Owen.
Cold
no,
kid.
not that. That's not the same look. That's more of a comb back.
Yeah, maybe I should give that a go.
Ugh.
In the Home Alone
Wait, what?
poster, people Google that. I do look.
Why is Owen keep comparing himself to like prepubescent boys? What is he? Has he got an obsession with it or something?
Like
Weirdo.
that.
Fucking
Also, they're
weirdo.
not cute as a button, though.
I think it's
Is it cute? Is it
Some
button?
more calls on whether you can hug.
Let's have a call. Come on.
8622222. See,
Oh, still no calls. Right. Okay. We'll be back with the calls. I promise.
and a minister has actually specifically said that. That's why we're discussing it, Storm.
Yeah. When
So
the
we've
government
got
tells me I
time,
can't
we're gonna
hug
speak to
people.
Margaret from
Yeah. Whatever.
Northumberland, who says it's a difficult one, but we have to wait.
So you don't want a hug from Owen just yet, Margaret?
No, I don't want a hug from Owen ever.
Not yet, no. I mean, there are lots of people I'd love to hug, but it just
But Owen isn't one of them.
seems that, you know, this thing is so hidden that if hugging, I'd love some real information. I don't know how they get scientific information as to whether hugs have actually passed it on. But it
They'll make it up like most things, no doubt.
would seem that it would be, since it's done by close contact. I'm so sad for the people who can't hug the babies. The new babies must be the hardest thing, especially if you're actually there.
I was going to say, I mean, I think she must be meaning like relatives, extended family, because I don't believe they're taking babies out of women giving birth to the baby and then not being allowed to hug it. How do you feed a baby in social distance? So I'm guessing I hope she means like extended family. She's not thinking that like mothers are giving birth to babies and then having to sit 2 meters away from them. What are they doing? Squirting the milk into their mouths or something?
With them in a room and not able to hug them, it must be very difficult. And I think it's really sad for the babies as well.
Well, I suppose the thing is, Margaret, at what point do we say it's so sad that we have to just forget the advice and do it? Because we're getting to a point where there's much less to be afraid of because of the vaccine.
Yeah.
Vaccine. If you're not noticed, I mean, this program is just literally pumping out jab propaganda, isn't it?
I think so. And I think occasionally people will be breaking the rules quietly in their own living room and having a hug. You know, it's almost too difficult and almost worth the risk. I'd like to just say to Owen how pleased I am when he's on the show, because he always comes up with very sensible things.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost for words there. I want Margaret here to remind us of one sensible thing Owen Jones has ever said. Just one.
Really?
That's actually my mother.
I'm still waiting.
I was gonna say.
Okay, well there's still time on today's show for that to happen. And Margaret, thank you. Bless you. Stay well.
Thank you. And thank
Bless you.
For your
She didn't
lovely
sneeze,
coverage.
Jeremy.
I
What are you on
love
about?
The fact that you listen to everybody's opinions.
Well,
Or
Nah.
pretend to.
Margaret. They don't listen to everyone's opinions. He has a team of people that are vetting the phone calls or filtering the phone calls, whatever you want to call it. You have to speak to someone before you speak to Jeremy. So, yeah, they don't speak. Not everyone gets a voice on there. Trust me. Not saying I've tried to ring up a few times and never got through or anything.
Anyway, Margaret, thanks. Yeah, we're going to get through it. We're getting there, aren't we, Storm? We're getting there.
Slowly but surely, we're certainly getting through the year anyway. I can't believe it's already the end of March. Anyway, we'll get on with the show
Yeah.
and we'll speak
Time flies when you're having fun in lockdown, I guess. Storm.
to Alison from Lincolnshire.
Hi, Alison.
Come on, Alison.
Hi there, Jeremy.
So, how are you on the hugging front?
Well, in 1 hour, my grandson's arriving. He's 6 months old, and I have not seen him, and I've had my vaccination. His mum's had hers due to health reasons, and they've been careful. I've been actually indoors since February, not March, because I knew it was coming, and I've just been very careful.
Hang on, do you mean February 2020?
Yes.
So 14 months?
Yes.
Oh, that's a record of something. So you could see it coming because the journalists were slow on it for a start, weren't we?
Well, my son told me, and he bought me the kit. I wore the mask, the glasses. I went to Tesco. I looked an idiot, but hey.
At least you admit it.
That's amazing. I mean, I got a credit to you because you're right. People were laughing. There's some guy on the tube train in London with a box on his head, and everyone was laughing. Well, they weren't laughing 2 months later.
Why? What the hell? What does that even mean? If this woman thinks she was on it, well, many people were saying about this, warning about it months before. What the hell?
No, they weren't. And I've been perfectly safe. I've been staying indoors. I do have deliveries, but we have gone out occasionally to the shops. Well, we go on our own. And I've been very, very, very careful. A lot of people around me, have to say, haven't been. But I have.
Like me, would you ever go at someone like me who doesn't wear a mask? I'm exempt. Who cares? Come on.
I don't.
Idiot.
I've got to give him a cuddle. I really do.
Yeah, that's so interesting. So you're very, very responsible. But this is the moment. And what's his name, by the way, your grandson?
Kenny.
Teddy.
Kenny.
Kenny. Okay, as in Kenny Everett. And he's coming in an hour. Sherelle. Yeah. Well, I know you'll say hug Kenny.
Yeah, and I think that
don't hug Kenny. Oh my God, they killed Kenny.
I would like to see us go in terms of weighing up the personal risks to ourselves, because if everybody is vaccinated, then the risk then of there being fallout from a simple hug is very low. And I say they'll play to her.
I suppose we should add, I'm not sure whether it's law that you can't hug. I don't think it is.
What?
I think it's guidance that you must social distance
Tell me one thing in the COVID thing that is law. It's all guidance.
even when you're meeting. So that's those are the rules there. And fair to say, when I caught it at Christmas, I think it was from a conversation which was 10 minutes long, with someone who stood 6 feet away. So it did make the leap.
Yeah. I don't even believe you ever did catch it, Jeremy. Sorry. Not at all, Jeremy. I don't believe you did have it at all. I think you got a runny nose and you went, oh my God, it's COVID. Ah! I bet you laid in your bed and cried like a little baby. Well, I want my mummy, but I can't hug her. Or something like that.
So, Owen, you would say to Alison, don't hug, would you?
Well, I would.
Well, I'm not going to get arrested for it, am I? I think, look.
Well, Owen, now you mention it, I do believe, looking at you, listening to you, going on things you've said and done in the past, I do quite believe that you would be the kind of dickhead arsehole that would be reporting their neighbours. I do believe that, Owen. Prove me wrong.
Standing away from someone and catching it that way, it is way more contagious, significantly more contagious than season.
So why hasn't everyone caught it then? Because, for a year now, since it all began, I've never worn a mask. I've gone into the supermarket. And the supermarket would be the place you would catch it, surely. Most likely to catch it. You're forcing people into one place. It's not like we can mix in many other places or have been able to. So, is it as highly infectious as you say, Owen? Are you medically allowed to say that? Am I even allowed to question it? Who fucking knows?
Flu. And
probably
I think
not.
Most of us are used to the idea that flu can be caught relatively easily. Well, this is a lot more contagious than that. At the end of the day, look, in the privacy of your own home, you've got to, of course, make your own decisions. But I think the advice is very much there for a very good reason, which is a lot of people have died. We've got one of the worst death rates and worst death tolls on the face of the earth, and that's because the government didn't enforce the sort of measures that we needed to prevent that calamity from unfolding. At the end of the day, if people hug, there will be more transmission, and more people will be hospitalised, and more people die. It'll only be a tiny fraction of those who hug, but if everyone hugs, then you can see how that will lead to lots of transmissions and lots of people dying. So you've got to make your own decision.
Okay, Alison, you still there? I was going. You respond to that because I don't want to ruin the thought of the next couple of hours.
I totally get that, and there are a lot of irresponsible people out there, and I do understand where he's coming from. But the issue is here. I am an ex-nurse. I know people who've had COVID. My cousin's a very senior doctor who got it back in January when they're all coughing around the surgical table, and he's been very poorly. I do take it very seriously, but I'm looking at a sensible. I don't feel I'm a threat. I don't go out there and cavort. A lot of people have been not following the rules. I followed them to the letter. I feel safe. The mother's surely the person who should tell me whether I can give the baby a hug or not, and she's happy for me to give Kenny a hug too.
I hear you, Owen.
I guess that the test is always to apply during this pandemic. What if everybody else did what I'm doing? And if every single person decided that they had an exemption on hugging, then...
Objection. I'm going to say that if everyone behaved like Alison behaved, we wouldn't have a pandemic.
I think I've just heard Jeremy say the most stupid thing I've ever heard. What? How does he work that out? We would have never had a pandemic. The pandemic was here before we knew it, you idiot. Well, before some of you knew it.
Because we would never have gone to Crufts. We would never have gone to Liverpool Atletico Madrid. We would never have gone to see the Stereophonics in Cardiff in March. We would have been walking around Sainsbury's with PPE on.
Yeah, looking at the end of the...
So that's the answer.
It's the government who messed this up.
Well, it's the government, but it's also
if everyone
the government.
Told you, Owen couldn't wait. He couldn't wait to get his digs in. You think Labour would have done any different? This was happening either way, you prat.
Hang on,
Bellend.
The government did mess it up, but guess what? I didn't follow what the government did. I did what I knew was right.
Interesting. All right, Alison, we'll leave it there because I don't mean to be...
What I knew was right, because I'm always right. Alison from Lincolnshire.
Kenny, Storm.
We're going to speak to Mandy now from London.
Where'd they get all these babies from that ring in? I'm scared of
Who
the
doesn't want to
COVID.
endanger her friends or her family.
So So you would say I shouldn't hug. Well, my mum might not want to hug on Friday. That's
Your mum
not
don't
even
want to hug
asked
you,
her yet.
Jeremy. You
But
know
you
that.
would say don't hug your mum, Mandy, would you?
Absolutely not. I can't believe that people are just thinking that hugging is such an important thing when even if you've been vaccinated and you've been to the supermarket, people have been on the television in the past year or relatives of them saying we were more or less self-isolating, we only went out for food, who've contacted it.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, Mandy, because pretty much the only places I've been are supermarkets. And guess what? I haven't caught it. So what the hell? What do you think? You think everyone that goes in the supermarket catches it? What?
So I can't believe that hugging is that important in life.
Well, it is.
You're allowed to
Look, Mandy, we know you've got no one to hug you, but that doesn't mean you have to ruin it for everyone else.
see people. You can look at a baby, you can keep a distance until it's safe. Why would you want to jeopardise?
Yeah, even your dog disagrees with you. Your dog's telling you to shut up, Mandy. Even your dog.
Jeopardise other people's lives. I just don't understand the importance of that.
You okay, Mandy? What's happening with your dog?
My colleague has just decided she doesn't like me talking on the phone at the moment. So I've put
She doesn't like what you're saying, Mandy. She thinks you're a prat. That's what she's saying.
She's worried you're getting close to a hug here. She's going to step in.
She's probably the dog's probably saying, the dog's probably saying, where's my hug? I wanted a hug. You won't hug me. Why are you making me wear? I hope you don't make a dog wear a face mask.
But that's and to be quite honest, when you think about hugging, there's a lot of people who don't actually. They do it because other people do it for them.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to hug their friends. I never do.
No.
I do.
I hear you.
There you go then. So Mandy doesn't even like hugging anyway, so she's really got no skin in this game.
Hug the dog, and we'll take a break. But Mandy, thank you. That's good. Words of caution, I think we could say. Thanks for your calls. We'll move on. We'll talk about scrapping e-scooter trials, but after.
Oh well. There we have it. That's it for today. I'm not going to we're not going to worry about the Brexit Museum or e-scooters, because you know they're going to talk a load of crap, and this video's gone on for way too long already. So yeah, thanks for watching anyway, and peace out.